everyone. I'm Galit Mimran. Whoops. I'm the community shlicha at the Sid Jacobson JC in the Randy Welba Malinsky Center for Israel. You might have met, I think, Galit Vash over this year or last year. Um, she's the director of the Center for Israel, and I think she has done some lectures for you, or you might have met our Shinshinim over different programs in our building or in your program. Um, so I thought it would be a great opportunity just to tell you a little bit about Passover, Pesach. Actually, this is how we call it in Hebrew, Pesach, not Passover, about Pesach in Israel, and some special traditions we have in a way that my family celebrates Pesach. And kind of, I'll be very happy also to hear from you. How are you going to celebrate Pesach? Are you going to do it via Zoom or by yourself with your immediate family? So we'll get to that at the end. So we know that SEDER happens like once a year, but as it gets there, it's a full, let's say like 6 hour SEDER. We usually read the actual full Haggadah, and we sit there for a pretty while. I just approved someone to get into the call. Alex, I think. Stacy just said, letting you know. And we do only one night, as when in outside of Israel, and I know here also in New York, you do 2 nights. And also the second Chag, you do also 2 nights when we do only one and one. And the reason for that is actually that in Israel, we do it once, but outside of Israel, they do it twice because they want to make sure that they got to the holiday on time and did it all. So when we do it, it's very, very intense. It's a lot of family time, reading the whole Haggadah, which is the story of Passover, which I'm sure you know. And of course, forced to eat gefilte fish, which specifically don't everyone love. Whoops. Let's see if I think you all froze. Okay.
Galit, if you can just speak up just a little bit, please.
Oh no, yes, no problem. So as you see, this is our Pesach plate in Israel. It has very similar things like you do here. We have the celery, the karpas. That's like from my mom, Ashkenazi side, we eat the celery, but from my dad, Moroccan side, we eat actually just regular romaine lettuce, which is much, much better, and that's really karpas. We have an egg. We have charoset, which is horseradish. No, I'm sorry, there's charoset and there's chazeret, which is horseradish. That's horseradish, that's charoset. And there's, I just admitted David Miller joined the call. And there's zora, which is like an arm of leg of beef. Oops. The slide kind of, okay. This is our table, usually at home. We observe Shabbat, so we actually don't have a full family picture in the table of the Seder. So only pictures I had are with the table still empty, just waiting from the afternoon for everyone to sit down. It's usually like you have a very large table. This is actually looks like a very minimal one, but usually it's even double from that and goes all the way up. And like usually we have the Shabbat candles, we have wine, matzah, the cup for Eliza and the Navi. We have all the Seder plates all covered, and Haggadah for each one. And the actually joke about the Haggadahs in our family is because every year we would read the Haggadah, and there would be kind of an argument between the uncles, like what are we supposed to say? No, my Haggadah says this, my Haggadah says that. Then my dad said, enough. And he used to have a printing company. So he decided to make his own version of Haggadah with our family rabbi, which is actually my uncle, my oldest uncle. And he made a Haggadah, the same Haggadah, made like 30 prints of it, with each one has the picture. So these are my parents in the picture. This is my niece. This is my sister and her husband. So each one has their own Haggadah with their own picture, but it actually has all the same written in it. So there's no more fights in our family reading the Haggadah. So that's like our own family joke of like how we read the Haggadah. So yes, this is probably more of like, how do you call it, Stacey? Can you remind me in English?
Oh, that's scallion or spring onion.
Scallion. Yeah, spring onion. So this is actually a symbol that we didn't have in Israel, but I think that most Ashkenazi Jews do have it, of eating it through the SEDER, and even like some were like throwing them out. I think in Rosh Hashanah, the Persians, yeah, which I had in one of the Persian families with the scallion. So some of them use it with the Dayenu to like throw it around like the hand. So that was like a cool tradition that I learned from last year from being here in New York, which was kind of nice. Of course, we have knedel soup, and the joke about our knedel soup is my mom is Ashkenazi, my mom is American. She grew up in the Bronx in Riverdale, and my dad is a Moroccan Jew, and they both met in Israel. And of course, you can imagine how all the food are very, very different in the holidays in my family. So my mom makes her tradition knedel soup with chicken soup, which we all love. And my aunt, my dad's sister, makes cabbage soup. That's what they eat in Passover. And then when they serve the soup, you like need to decide if you want the chicken soup with the knedel or the cabbage soup. And sometimes you like ask for the cabbage soup with a knedel in it, which is kind of like a funny adding to it, which is kind of nice. So this was kind of my Pesach in Kiryat Gat, as I told you. But then what happens like after Seder night? As you know, usually, not this year, but usually through the year, through like Passover. Oh wait, there's someone in the Leos and the waiting, all right. So usually during the week of Passover, you're used to that here in America, all the restaurants are open, but usually not a lot of kosher food are in them. But in Israel, the restaurants are almost all open. Through the years, more and more of them open, and they all kosher themselves to be kosher for Passover. So you can actually eat pizza, which is kosher for Passover, and burgers that are kosher for Passover. And they usually all are made from potato bread, which is kosher for Passover, or like matzahs. So you can go to restaurants and actually eat pizzas and burgers and all the foods you ever like, and some even pastas and gnocchis and whatever, which is kind of weird for some people, but we are used to it. I guess that most Americans, you would find it kind of funky eating pasta, kosher for Passover, pasta or pizza during Passover, but that's what Israelis do, I guess. Whoops. Okay. Also, it's very, very live. So because it's spring and everything is so beautiful out, and most people are off work on the week of Passover. So it means that everyone goes to travel around. Sorry, excuse me. So everyone goes out and travels. So like the week before Passover, we're already off from school for spring break. So in our youth movement, we used to go hiking for like 3, 4, 5 days all around Israel. So all of the national preserves and travel areas and picnic areas are all so packed with people. Also, especially on the week of Passover, so like the week before, it's usually like the youth movements that go out, but then the week of Passover, it's usually families and friends that go out and enjoy their vacation. So it's very, very live. There's a lot of performances, like in Jerusalem, there's performances, there are like 3D sidewalks artworks, and there's like a lot of markets open. So it's a very, very live time of year to go out and enjoy Israel. Um, so I know that every year when we finish the SEDER, we finish the SEDER when we say next year in Jerusalem. And I mean, if we're in Israel now, or if I live in Jerusalem, would I still say next year in Jerusalem? Because I'm already here. So that's a good question. So what we do say is next year in built Jerusalem. So wishing to Jerusalem to rebuild, so like Bet HaMikdash, the temple, will be built. So we still wish that to be next year in built Jerusalem. Well, all over the world, you say next year in Jerusalem and you don't say built Jerusalem. So that's kind of the difference of the Haggadah when you say it in Israel and outside of Israel, which is kind of interesting to think about. Excuse me. Also, there's a whole environment of holidays. So I don't know if you can read Hebrew, but here this is a bas, Eged bas, kind of like ATM, MTA, which says Chag Pesach Sameach, which means Happy Passover. And you would say, why would a bus say to everyone Happy Passover? But that's a very special thing in Israel, that through all of the country, people are excited and everyone says happy holiday, Chag Sameach to everyone. Just to share the blessing and the happiness. And I think this is something that's very, very special in Israel. So you can see a week or so before Passover and also during Passover, all the buses and signs will say everywhere, Chag Pesach Sameach, which makes a very, very special environment for the holiday. Also, I'm wondering who could recognize this little baby by any chance? Can I unmute yourself? Okay, so this is a very Israeli icon who's called, he's a kid of Bamba. Bamba is a peanut snack, Israeli peanut snack. I don't know if you ever had it or tasted it. If you're not allergic to peanuts, you should definitely try it because it's absolutely the best. So this is like an example of the Bamba kid over like a pyramid. You can see the pyramids like in Egypt. In a commercial before Passover to promote people buying more Bamba. So even the commercials in Israel are so Passover oriented that you feel it from all around, which is kind of funny. Also, all of the snacks in Israel, this is Bamba as an example. This is the packet. It doesn't have the little kid, but this is Bamba. All of the, oh, that's the little Bamba kid. Also, all of the snacks, the Bamba, the bisli, the boni, the pretzels, everything is made special kosher for Passover. And some snacks are even more special in Passover than all over the year. So even like eating pretzels gluten-free, I mean, now it's something that's more common because we're more observer like a gluten-free world. But years ago, it was something that was very, very special to Israel of having so many non-gluten things. So my sister, she grew up allergic to gluten, and my parents would stock our shelves like at Passover for the whole year for snacks and special non-gluten, gluten-free food just for them. So like as an example, people like fall in love with the snacks, so they create a lot of stocks of the snacks because people are in love with them all over the year. So they all have like big symbols of kasher like Pesach, kosher for Passover, you see, around the covers, and people shop them like crazy. Personally, I love the kosher for Passover chocolate wafers, waflim, the kosher for Passover. So I could actually stock them in Passover and eat them all year long just because I love them. So that's kind of funny. Also, something very special and interesting, you know, probably Ben and Jerry's, their amazing ice cream, but they have a special for Passover version with a charoset ice cream. So this is something you could also find in Israel when you're ever in Israel during Passover. If you're ever there, charoset Ben and Jerry's, which is actually ice cream. And some people think it's good. My mom loves it. I'm not a big fan, but I guess just the world splits the two between the ones who love Ben and Jerry's for Passover and the ones who don't. I prefer the regular version, but this is something that is also very, very special in Israel. Some songs. So usually we are in love with, you know, some of the songs are based on the Haggadah, some of the spring, and bring the happiness of the spring, which is very nice. And I thought it would be kind of nice if help some of our friends here to unmute themselves and share with me if you know.
You're breaking up a bit.
Passover songs, some of them if they're based in the Haggadah. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. So I said if we could maybe unmute some of our friends now, and you could share with me any Pesach songs that you have based on the Haggadah, or more modern or secular songs, or more like spring songs that you know and have. And afterwards, I can share with you some songs in Hebrew so we could sing together and welcome the Chag, the holiday. So if you want to share with me any Passover songs you know from the Haggadah, or any spring songs you have around.
Galit, you'll need to unmute everyone.
All right. Yeah, no problem. You're right. You're right. Yeah. So now
you could do unmute all.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah. So now that you're all unmuted, unless you muted yourself, so I can unmute you. I would love to hear from you for some Passover songs that you grew up on, that you sing with your family, with your grandchildren, with your kids, with your siblings, anything.
Dayenu is the only one I know.
Dayenu.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice.
I don't remember singing other Passover songs around the SEDER. Does anybody else? No.
Chad Gadya.
Chad Gadya.
Let my people go.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, very nice, very nice. So let's say as an example, let my people go. I didn't know it like before last year when I did SEDER in America and in American family. So this is something we don't have in Israel, which is kind of nice. But Dayenu, my mom brought it to our family. So we sing it in a very Ashkenazi version. So that's kind of nice. But we also have Manishtana. You know what means Manishtana? What's different this night than the other night?
Hold up. We have a special guest over here.
Ooh,
everyone, this is Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Josh, can you sing Manishtana? Maybe? Maybe? Nope.
Maybe.
Sorry.
Maybe not. That's okay. That's all right.
So when I was saying about Chad Gadya a little bit ago, my dad would lead Seder for my family. And he would always do it so fast, especially by the end, that you'd think that he's getting tongue-tied over there, but nope. Oh, there we go. There he goes. But the past few years, on the first night of Pesach, obviously not this year, we would go to my cousin's house, and my cousins would kind of act out Chad Gadya a little bit. It's kind of fun, so different takes on it. But
Galit, you just reminded me of something. I have an Israeli sister-in-law, and we don't get together. We don't get together as much now. But when she came to the Seders, that's the song she brought to us. That was very nice. And just for your information, she lives in Riverdale, so you could tell you. And she's Israeli.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah,
maybe we can find a connection later. Yeah. That's funny. That's funny.
I'll give you an interesting story.
Love it.
After, as a college student, after we finished the Seder at our home, I went to visit one of my friends. And my sister had visited Israel a few years earlier and brought me back a keffiyeh, which was the Arab headdress, the wraparound. So I put a white sheet on and the keffiyeh on my head, and I went to my friend's home. And just as I got to the door, he opened the door to welcome in Elijah, talking about hysterical. Here I was wrapped up in a sheet with a headdress, stranger at the front door, and Elijah came in.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
I have some young grandchildren, so what we're to make it entertaining for them, a short Seder for them. Otherwise, we lose their attention. I found some English Pesach, so like She's Coming Around the Mountain, favorite kids songs, and I found English words for the songs, those melodies about Pesach. So I sent them to all the family, and last year we all sat around and we sang the songs for the kids. If anybody's interested in some Pesach songs for kids, the melodies they'll know. Like I said,
in my family, we have this tradition where the senior member of the family goes out and while everybody else is in the Seder, and then two of the senior members come back in, and one is wearing this beard, and he looks like Moses, and he's got a staff in his hand, and the other one is wearing like a Pharaoh's hat, and the two of them go at it, and you see Moses say, "Let my people go," and Pharaoh says, "No, I'm not letting your people go." And he says, "You better let my people go, or otherwise I'm going to send the plagues to you with locusts and who knows what else." And Pharaoh says, "I don't believe it." And this goes on, and it's the kids love it because they figure that they know who it is. So, "That's you, Uncle Phil. That's you."
I just found this right in front of me. I don't know if you can see it. It's to take me out to the ball game.
Yeah.
And maybe you can email that to me, and I can email everyone in the group.
Sure. I got that, and I got a few others.
Very good. David, that's a good story. That must be hysterical.
That's good.
That's Passover memories.
That's a good.
Yeah.
1.5 for a whole sandwich.
Hold up. Josh is telling us something.
Getting the fruit gel.
Oh, he likes the fruit gels.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
do
want to
I.
show everyone your fruit gels?
I'll take one.
No.
Take your headphones off.
He hasn't learned to share yet, huh?
No, he knows how to share. He just really likes these.
We got 2.
We got 2. Hey, they had a good price on them. Go show them. Yeah, we got the fruit gels.
Oh, those are good.
There's no sugars on my house. Get rid of all my sugars.
I guess I'm gonna go.
Can you put it back in the bag, please?
No.
Oh, no. Thank you.
Stacy, I'll send the songs to you.
That would be great. Thank you.
The whole link, I think the Chabad or
Perfect.
one of the networks I got. A bunch of
Perfect.
20, 30 songs.
So I think we're already in our sharing mode. Just to hear from you, how are you celebrating Passover this year? If you're doing something at all, if there's something you did ahead of time, just to feel that Chag is coming, that you're welcoming the holiday.
Virtual.
Be happy to share.
It's all virtual this year,
Okay.
which is really
With
something different. Very something. Really,
yeah,
I didn't even have matzah in my house. I haven't done any shopping. I'm afraid.
We can get you matzah if you want.
yeah.
Remember, that's what I'm here for. If anybody needs anything, including matzah.
I'll worry about that. I'll probably go to the store maybe
So
tomorrow.
who are you gonna spend the holiday virtually with?
I have two. I have my kids and my wife's kids. My kids are older. My family's a bit older, and plus a lot larger. So on Wednesday, I'm doing my wife's 3 daughters and 7 grandchildren, and on Thursday, I'm doing my kids. We'll probably about 15 screens. Because
Wow.
in-laws and
Amazing.
this one's brothers and sisters.
That's
and
beautiful.
this one's cousin. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of chaos, but it should be fun. Sure, it should be
Definitely.
fun. I think I'll be quiet the whole time
Great.
and just say.
My family has shrunk. So basically, me and my daughter, my ex-wife, and my brother, we're just going to have a group call, just for maybe 10 minutes, just to talk about, Passover and, toast.
You better stay up, Larry. We're all going to be in trouble.
So yeah, no, it's going to be very quiet this year instead of getting together. But we still will have we decided we'll just have a phone call with all each other, and So that's
Very
how
nice.
we're going to do it, Galit.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It'll be
Anybody
fun.
else?
Yes.
What's your name, by the way?
Speak up.
Jerry. I'm Jerry.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, what is
I
your
just
name?
wanna
My
wish
computer
everybody
froze
a
up on
happy
me.
Yeah, Jerry Berkson from Long Island. I just want to wish everybody as Easter Pesach in the highest form. If we're around, we have a lot to be thankful for. Just the fact that we're around, and we have to think about the people who we've lost and so many issues. But if we have family, we're fortunate, even though we can't be with them. So we have to try to be positive and keep in tune with nice programs like this, and just be thankful just for being able to tune in with the modern technology and talk to other people. So I'm gonna leave you now. I wish everybody well.
Thank
Take
you. And
Thank
before you
very
go,
much.
if I may, for one moment,
Sure.
don't forget we have our News Behind the News. Dan will be moderating starting on Monday. Next week, same time. Joe Wasserman will be talking about the New York Dodgers. Joe is my colleague, my office mate. Wonderful, wonderful guy. He'll be talking about the New York Dodgers. And on not this Thursday because of Passover, but a week from Thursday, our own Larry Schwartz over here is going to be doing Trivia Thursday.
Trivia Thursday.
And please make sure if you have any questions to ask me, you can ask Galit as well. Everything is on our virtual calendar. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. So,
Thank you.
Jerry, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
This conversation.
Take care.
Okay, I'm leaving.
See you Monday, Jerry.
All right.
Just in Pesach.
Happy Passover. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
No. I think Edie wanted to talk, so we're not finished. I think she was just saying
Yeah.
goodbye to Jerry.
Bye. I have something to do. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Time.
Oh, she did have to leave. All right.
It's amazing. It is amazing how many things can keep you busy when you have no place else to run.
Wow.
11
Yeah, I
o'clock at
can
night.
definitely agree with that.
11 o'clock at night. Look up. Oh, I didn't do that today. I didn't do that today. I'll do it tomorrow. And never get to it.
Nada, was there anything that you wanted to share about any Passover traditions? We can't
You'll
hear
have
you.
to unmute yourself because we
You're on
can't
mute.
hear you.
Is this better?
Yes.
Yes.
My niece arranged for us to have a Zoom SEDER. And so we're meeting tomorrow at 5:30. And she made all kinds of arrangements. And we're going to be a pretty large group considering. And she sent me and her mother the Haggadah that they're going to be using.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, that's
And,
great.
she sent a link for the rest of the people that are involved, all family, to download a Haggadah. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's a first, and it sounds wonderful. It's because I hope that I'll be able to see everyone on a gallery screen tomorrow. Yes.
Very nice.
To everyone.
At least you know all the Haggadahs will say the same thing in a different form.
I guess so. It ends the same way, doesn't it?
Page 3 or page 7 will say the same thing.
Galit, how are you doing Israel this Passover this year? Are you home? Are you in Israel? Where are you?
So right now I'm still in New York. I'm still in Long Island. So I actually have a busy day tomorrow because I'm going to connect. I have one sister who lives in Baku, so she's ahead of time. So already around noon, I'm going to pop into their SEDER. And then afterwards, my parents and my other sister and brother in Israel will start the SEDER. So I'll pop into their SEDER. Then my grandma in New York has a SEDER around 6, so I'll join her SEDER. So it's a lot of virtual SEDERs but it's kind of nice that I didn't have to choose this year who I have to celebrate with, and I kind of have the opportunity to celebrate with everyone. So I'm kind of excited about that, just being everywhere and nowhere at the same time. But I'm actually quarantined now, so because I'm a little bit sick, so I'll be stuck in my room. But I'll do virtual SEDERs, and I'll be happy about that. So it's all good.
What is your
That's a
sister
positive
doing in
attitude.
Baku?
My sister is a diplomat.
Oh, very nice.
My sister is a diplomat in Baku. Yeah, she's an Israeli diplomat there.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Diane, if you want to unmute yourself and tell us what you're doing, we would love to hear from you. And then I'll share my experience. I don't know if you can hear. There you go. Nope, go back to unmute. There you go.
No, that says you are muted by
There
host.
you go. Yep. Sorry. I tried to help you, but I made a mistake.
You are unmuted by host. Thank you. Okay, an interesting story. My husband, we did a virtual minion, and yesterday, day before, and it seems that everybody on the Zoom, they all had different versions of it.
Aziz and Pesach, everybody. I'm sorry, I have to go.
No, it's okay. Bye, Nada.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
nice.
Bye bye,
Bye.
Anita.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Hug Sameach.
Okay, bye.
So Diane, I'm sorry, as you were saying?
I was saying that the people who were there, the men who were there for the minion, they all had a different version of it. So they're trying to figure out, how to, each one had to do it, I guess. But that's same with the Haggadahs. In fact, my daughter is sending me what their Haggadah is. I'm doing it with my my daughter and a husband, the 3 kids, and they all have the coronavirus, but I'm away from them, so that's fine. What can I tell you? And then his mother and my daughter's mother-in-law and father-in-law will be on also. And they're trying to get the sister who's in Michigan.
Wow.
Stacey, afterwards, if I could talk to you, because you don't have a picture and you have to tell me how to do that.
Okay, I'll give you a call when we're finished, and we'll walk through it that way. No, I can't
Thank
hear
you.
your iPad. So as for me, I'm embarrassed to admit that I'm not having any virtual SEDERs. Because
You have no virtual SEDER? Okay.
I'm not having a virtual SEDER. I am at my parents' house every single day because I can't work with a 4.5-year-old and an 18-month-old. So every day my dad comes over to pick up my daughter, and sometimes Josh. We have Josh Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we are going to be going to my parents' house for both SEDERs. But it's going to be very interesting because normally I would go to synagogue for services, and to not go to synagogue for services this year is just going to be, I think that's where it's really hitting me, that yes, I can join virtually, but since I'm at my parents' house every day anyway, we're all exposed to whatever we're exposed to already.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a different Seder no matter what, because for the past few years, we would always go to my cousin's house, and this year we're not doing that. So it's definitely different. And, having the kids, last year, Ava was a little nothing baby, and now she's one who walks and crawls. So who knows what kind of Seder we're going to have.
The singing will be entertaining for the kids. Singing, it's the whole idea of having to include the inclusion and have melodies and music and feed them matzah and feed them the different stuff. Let them be happy around the family.
What are you looking forward to during the Seder?
Eating the fruit gels again.
And what are you getting him for reward for finding the Afikoman? That's important.
More fruit gels.
Huh? About the jelly candies? Cheap. We used to fight over $1. I always lost because my brother and sister were older.
Ava's only 18 months old, so she doesn't even know what an afikoman is. But maybe as she gets older, the two of them will
But she'll know she got something good to eat afterwards.
Exactly.
Stacy, Steve says he can't get in. Are we going to break up?
Galit is the host right now.
Excuse me?
Galit is the host right now.
Sorry. Yeah.
If someone is trying to get in right now.
Yeah, I just approved, I think.
Oh, there we
Steve
go.
was in.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was in, and then he left, and...
Yeah.
Hi, Steve.
What's happening, Steve?
There he is. Hi, Steve.
We were just talking about what we're doing for Seders. What are you doing? No?
Steve?
He's distracted.
Maybe he doesn't hear you.
I'm going to call him.
Hey.
Uh-oh.
It looks like his microphone isn't connected.
Unmute yourself. We can see you or we can't hear you. There's a picture of a camera or something? Or microphone? Microphone.
Look at this. I love it.
Join video.
Challenged.
Okay.
Video.
Join voice. Okay, all right, now hold it. You're connecting to audio, okay.
There we go.
There it is.
Yeah?
Gotcha.
Got
Good.
it.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Steve, we
He's
work to
my
make
idol.
everyone...
He's my idol. When I grow up, I want to be like him. Only
Steve, we
taller.
were just
You're
talking...
older than I am. What are you talking about?
Only taller. Thank
Steve,
you.
we were just
Thank you.
talking about what everyone is doing for their Seders. So, since you're the only one who hasn't responded, what is your, what are you doing?
My son is going to do a Seder on Zoom. I think there'd be like 30 people on there. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, getting people from, I don't know how he's doing it, and I don't want to know, but somehow he's doing it. We have to do it on the iPad, and the only thing that we can get on the iPad is like 9 people, other than scrolling
pages.
over, right? I can't do it on my computer because I don't think I have a camera on my computer. It's not built in.
What kind of
I spoke to your resident expert, who was on my screen, the upper right-hand corner, who was laughing. I don't think I have a camera on my computer.
What kind of computer?
20-year-old computers don't have cameras.
Oh.
Well, years ago, the old one.
Remember the old days?
I had a thing on top for the video camera.
Sure.
But I don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're doing about, I think maybe like 30 some odd people or 20. I don't know. He said a lot of people. And so we're going to have to do it. I don't know how it's going to be done. But again, not my headache. That's his worry. Right? So, but I don't know how we're going to start sharing food over the computer. It doesn't work that way. So, but passing around, well, we made the soup, but we can't pass it around.
Steve, I just had some creamed herring, sorry.
Maybe in 10 more years.
Yeah, virtual food.
You're about to God's dears, right?
Yeah, maybe in a few years. Who would imagine we could talk to people? I mean, I'm sure you could think about it. Like, who would imagine
20 years ago?
Yeah.
That people could connect for SEDER through the computer?
Yeah, so
It's
I said,
amazing.
no, that's as of now. This is for tomorrow night, and see how it goes. You're getting people from Boston, Florida, and I don't know where else.
That's the nice thing about a virtual SEDER.
But hey,
Stays on
whatever it
airfare.
is. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a good time. If we don't like it, we always hit that button in the upper left-hand corner. So, hey,
You're learning, Steve. You're learning.
yeah, you tell
You mute yourself, you go off video, and no one has to see you doing
No,
whatever.
what we do is say, look, I'd love to, no, that's being, not proper, it's being nasty. I just tell us that we'd love to continue, but my battery is down to 0 and it hit off, right? What do they know?
I like that idea.
Right? You can use it, no problem. Right? Be my guest. But so anyway, as long as everybody's going to have a happy and healthy SEDER.
Definitely.
So,
Be healthy and be safe. That's all we can do.
Definitely.
That's all you can do. Has anybody been going out or anything, or just been stuck in the house?
Oh, every day. Go for a walk.
Yeah.
Well, I know David's been in the house.
All right.
David's never left the house. Look at him. Yeah.
Right. I watch you go out, Steve.
Yeah, we go out,
my
we walk
exercise.
around our court, and we go for a drive.
Yeah.
Just to, don't get out of the car, just out to wherever and then come back.
I've really only just gone to my parents' house, and I go for walks. Other than that, I really don't go anywhere.
Right.
So, but
I'll take my car up to the train station,
There you
park in
go.
an empty parking lot, sit there for an hour and read, and get out and walk around a little bit. Then
well,
I'm
with the
home.
fresh air, it's getting
Those 2
warmer out.
hours. Yeah, now I'm ready to go for a walk.
Yeah, well, I did that just before this started. I live in a development and we live in a court. And it's basically, we have a walkthrough, if you want to call it that. It goes from one street to another. So it's basically a 1-block walk. So, but we walk around the court 2 or 3 times. So it's like a 4 or 6 block walk. And there's nobody outside. It is like very picturesque. No kids or nothing, which is good, right? But and then just sit down outside, nobody there. I read and come back and I go online for this.
Should be like this all the time. No cars, no people.
Yeah.
No dogs either.
Well, last week we went to Jones Beach.
That's close.
We got there.
Really?
No, we sat in field 6, right by the water. Watched the waves, read our book, sat there maybe a half hour, came home. And that was it. Did not get out to walk.
Well, I would like to thank Galit for
Yes.
explaining everything
Thank
to us.
you.
We hope you feel
Toda
better.
raba. Thank you.
We wish
Toda.
you Zis Pesach, Chag Sameach, or
Chag Sameach for you all.
as the bus says, Chag Pesach Sameach.
Chag Pesach Sameach. Exactly.
Um,
You keep your all safe and healthy.
For sure.
Keep the smile on your face like you have right now. It's amazing, and really gives me a lot of positivity and power right now. So thank you very much. I hope you have a very, very, very happy Passover. And thank you very much.
Thank you. We hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Again,
Thank
if
you.
anyone has any questions for me,
No,
I am available to anyone.
I just
One quick
want to
point.
thank you for the presentation, Galit. I thought the presentation was very well done, and I enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Galit would have
Thank
been
you.
our guest of honor today, even if we were at the
Oh,
JCG. So
Are we invited to her house for Passover?
Only she has candy.
Can I ask a question? There's nothing for tomorrow. Is there anything for
Well,
tomorrow?
Diane is hosting book club.
No, that's okay. And Thursday, Larry is going to do whatever it is he's going to do.
Because
No,
of
we're all-
Passover this week, we are not doing
Yeah,
the
we're not
trivia
gonna do
Thursday. We're
Thursday trivia.
gonna reconvene next week. But I actually have to check. Hold up, I think next week.
When the last 2 nights?
Yeah, I think that's I think.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah, no,
Thursday,
so
Friday.
we're gonna figure this out. We're not gonna
Thursday,
do this.
Friday.
I'll be in contact with you, Larry.
Okay, no problem. Just send me the calendar. No problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Whatever.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Again, anybody has any questions?
Yes, one thing before I go, I'm sure you and David and